on as it all came down to a kick at Metlife as well. This was a yuck fest, for lack of a better term. But from 50 for the game, Greg the Leg, get him a new nickname. Wide right, Zuerlein can't convert. 10-9. The final at Metlife is the Jets really pushed their food around in the first half of this one, allowed Denver to hang around. This is a Denver team that was led by Bo Nix, who had negative passing yards in the first half. Now, we are happy to inform you he finished with 60 and a touchdown on the day, but I don't know, can you give out 2 losses? Ryan, we watched this one.
Yeah.
We watched this one. I don't know, outside of the tri-state, how many people watched this one, but they did not miss a whole lot. Is this one, whether you're on the winning side or the losing side, that you just flush and move forward? How do you approach the tape of this one?
This is the rare instance of a moral victory and an actual victory for Bo Nix. He got the moral victory in the win, and he got over the negative benchmark, the Mendoza line of NFL quarterbacks, if you will. 12 of 25. Look, man, I think you're right. I think you flush it. Pun intended. It rained the whole afternoon at MetLife. It was an ugly football game. Aaron Rodgers looked as much like Bo Nix as Bo Nix looked like Aaron Rodgers, and that is not a compliment for either player. I think you just move on. Producer Lucas is a Jets fan, and he pointed out there was not a lot of Breece Hall action, which is a concern. Braylon Allen did some good things, the rookie, when he had the ball and the opportunity. But there was a lot of punts and a lot of ugly football, a lot of missed kicks at the end for both sides, and you just move forward. I think this is 2 wins in a row for a Broncos team with a rookie quarterback, and you build off of that. They beat the Bucs last week, and Bo Nix had a great game. This week, it was back to being a rookie playing in tough conditions, but you had this touchdown pass in the back of the end zone to an uncovered Cortland Sutton. You made the one throw you had to make, and that ball was wobbling like about every one of the balls he threw. It doesn't matter. You get out of there with a 10-9 victory. You get to 2-2. You're 500 somehow, and you move forward.
An oddity to pass along here. The Jets and the Giants have only played in the same stadium 57 times, usually one home, one road, but because of the way that it shook out with the Thursday game, you have 57 instances where these two teams played in that stadium on the same week. Never before has there been a week where they played in the same stadium and neither scored an offensive touchdown.
Wow.
Neither the Jets or the Giants scored a touchdown this week at MetLife. The team that has scored the most touchdowns at MetLife Stadium this season, the Minnesota Vikings, with 4 in week 1. Not a whole lot of offense to pass along. You add rain to that formula, and you're going to get what we got here in week 4. What do you make of the way that the Jets approached this game, specifically in the first half, when it felt like there were opportunities to stretch the field a little bit more than they did, to implement a little bit more forward pass than they had hoped to? It seemed like they were fine letting the Broncos hang around.
And this wasn't Mike White. This wasn't Zach Wilson playing quarterback. And, again, to invoke producer Lucas, why are they running the ball up the middle twice and then throwing an incomplete pass and punting? And maybe the conversation is you can win this game 6-0. Well, you lost 10-9. So I think the lesson there is, I don't want to put this on Nathaniel Hackett because he's as much the OC as Aaron Rodgers is, but I think you have to understand that in the NFL, any given Sunday, to use the cliche, and instead of pushing your feet around, as you put it, and that's a pretty great way to put it, go after him. What's the worst that can happen? You throw a turnover, and then it's a 3-and-out because we saw that the Broncos can't move the ball. To your point, Bo Nix had negative passing yards in the first half, and that's pretty tough to do at any level, but he managed to do it where they're not even counting sacks, negative yards. So I would have liked to see a little more adventure in terms of being adventurous and pushing the ball down the field, a little more understanding that you can take chances against a good defense but a bad offense in Denver, but that wasn't the game plan, and it ended up costing them.
The narrative changes 60 minutes at a time in this league. Everybody riding high, feeling good after Rodgers spins it in prime time a week ago. You walk away from this one scratching your head on what that offense lacked on this day. It is the Broncos winning in a wet one.